SMX Facts time. Let's get the whole gang back together and bring our statistician Clinton Fowler back on the show. Good to chat with you here. We're going to take one last look back at 2024. Give me some things that stand out from the season.
Absolutely, Weege. Incredible season in 2024. In particular, a ton of firsts in the year. You've got to start with Jet Lawrence coming out as a rookie in his first Supercross ever, winning Anaheim 1. Quite the achievement. Thing we're not going to forget about for sure. Obviously, a quick nod to Ken Roczen in 2014 and Josh Grant in 2009. They won their first race in the rookie season, but they had raced the Premier Class Supercross prior to that. So that was incredible. We also had 3 champions, Jet Lawrence, RJ Hampshire, and Tom Vial, first-time champions, and the first time they had ever led a series. So they were first-time red plate holders, absolutely incredible. There's 3 other first-time red plate holders, Aaron Plessinger, Levi Kitchen, Max Anstey. Those guys all signal that they're going to be great competition this year. And the last one, JT, that I've got to call out is Vial obviously won the championship, but he got his first victory in Supercross. And of course, Hayden Deegan, the much talked about, he got his first victory in Supercross. And given the championship in the outdoors, given the repeat as a Super Motocross champion, we've got to be looking at him as we move into 2025 as one of the favorites.
Yeah, I think so. And really looking back, it's hard to believe that Tom Vial went out and beat Hayden Deegan for that East Coast Championship, but he did, right? So I think Hayden Deegan has taken steps forward. I think he's really improved himself across the board. But the ask is going to be the same. He's got to go out and win that first 250 Supercross Championship. And it sounds like he may have ended up on the West Coast. So we'll see who he ends up racing against. But to your point, Vial went out and won the race, and he went out and won the championship, and Deegan's got to go out and kind of set that record straight. It may be his last opportunity before he moves up to the 450 class.
There'll be many numbers to crunch as we get closer to Anaheim, but give us something to look forward to here as we start bench racing for the upcoming season.
Absolutely, Weege. 2025, for the first time in the history of Supercross, we're going to have 5 Premier Class champions sitting on the line. Never happened before. Absolutely incredible to think about in the 50-plus years of racing Supercross that we've never had that many. We always talk about the fact that there's going to be a deep field. We talk about the champions that they've had in a 250 class. But we've now literally got 5 guys that have won the Premier Class title. A quarter of the gate is going to be ex-champions. So absolutely incredible to think about it. We got Jet Lawrence last year. Chase Sexton won in 2023. You got Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb. They're both 2-time champions. And you can't forget about Jason Anderson on the Kawasaki, who in 2018 won the championship. So 5 guys. And for reference here, JT, historically, there's 2.1 champions on the gate over the history of the sport. It's been a little bit more competitive in the last decade with 2.6 champions. So 5 riders on the gate that have won a title, absolutely incredible. What do you think for these guys? Is somebody else new going to get in the mix, or is it going to be one of those 5 guys as we look towards 2025, JT?
Yeah, I do think one of the champions for 2025 comes out of that list of the 5, right? When you look at the talent there, the consistency, the ability, it's hard to imagine it doesn't, right? Could Ken Roczen do it? Could Hunter Lawrence step up and do it? Sure, it's theoretically possible, but when you look at Jet Lawrence really coming into his prime, look at Eli Tomac truly back to form, and you guys have guys like Sexton going into his 2nd year on the Red Bull KTM. Surely he'll find some more comfort there. Jason Anderson, he's a wild card. You never really know what you're going to get. And I think Cooper Webb's going to be back to that same guy that he was in 2024, fighting for wins each and every week and putting in consistent results that'll have him a factor late in the season. It's really hard for me to see a scenario where it's not one of them fighting for this championship. And the best part of that, we have guys entering their prime. We have guys in their quote unquote last season, like Eli Tomac, who's still relevant. He's still able to go out and win. We don't get situations and setups like this very often when you look back over the history of the sport. To your point, Clinton, we've never had 5 ex-champions going into a season. And I would even argue it's even more rare to have them all at this level, right? Where they're all super competitive and we're all talking about them winning in 2025. It's an all-time setup. And yeah, if you needed one reason to get excited for next year, that's plenty.
think you did your job here, Clinton. You gave us something to chew over for the next 2 months until we get to Anaheim. So thanks, and we'll get you back for the next show.
Thanks, Weege.
Hi, folks. Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.